All right, starting out. Well, I can't really say even starting out because Bethesda really started out day zero. But starting out day zero, the actual day of E3 was the Microsoft press conference, which happened at 12 p.m. And we were all, well, mostly all of us. Some of us were working, but me, Tony, and Kyle were fat
was
black
not,
men.
I was not working.
Yeah.
I was getting ready for work, so I got to watch it at least.
Yeah, so we were all pigging out and lounging as Microsoft kicked off their 2015 press conference with, drumroll please,
Halo.
Halo.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, it's Halo.
Yeah.
You can't really do bad with Halo. And man, unexpectedly they didn't show any no Master Chief.
It was all focused on
It was all
Agent
Locke. And we got, oh man, and I'm pretty
Spartan
excited.
Locke.
Yeah, Agent Locke. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Halo. Like Will is not being caught up on Hunt the Truth.
Yeah.
So we all know what's been going on.
I know. I have a general idea of what's gonna go down.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out.
And Agent Locke and his team of Spartan 4s are hunting. Basically Master Chief and his team of Spartan 2s, which is
I'm sorry, Spartan 2s.
Yeah,
Spartan 2s got to kind of got a hands down
so,
over the Spartan 4s.
Just that alone, they showed a lot of stuff. The actual trailer itself was gorgeous. But like the things you could do, like you could like make your team do thing. It's not just you.
Yeah.
It's your team. And you can like have one like we said Buck get the whatever and Buck put out this giant gun and like
it was really cool how they have that. I'm actually curious if they're gonna have more co-op with it though.
Actually, it's four-player co-op. Campaign
co-op.
Campaign 4-player co-op.
There
So
you go.
that's not couch though.
Yeah.
But it's really freaking interesting. I mean, because you got Arbiter in there, you got like the Covenant's got their last little bit of stronghold. And then you got the Prometheans in there. So like,
the Prometheans are the big bad. The
new big baddies.
The unsmart. I don't know which one to call them. The unconverted Covenant that are under the Prometheans are fighting with them, and then you have the Arbiters group of guys.
Yeah.
Who are they're
so
kind
you
of
got
just like,
one
meh.
civil war going on while the big baddie who nobody even knows about is going on. And if you guys haven't yet, I highly suggest, even if you don't like Halo. Matter of fact, especially if you do not like Halo, I would say to go listen to Hunt the Truth.
Give it a shot. I say definitely check it out.
Like I think it's not. It won't turn you, but it's just interesting.
Very interesting story. But I would say
itself.
if you don't know anything about Halo, it's going to be really confusing.
I don't know.
It will be really confusing because they start explaining a lot of things that if you're a Halo fan or you know about the Halo lore, you'll understand. But if you don't know anything about the Halo lore, you're just kind of like, what?
I don't know, because like I didn't know a lot about the Halo universe. I knew Master Chief was a badass and kicked the Covenant's butt. And I know everything that happens in like the story.
I'm talking about like you're a Halo player. You play Halo.
Yeah, I play Halo.
You know the games and stuff like that. If you know something about the universe, something about the lore. If you don't know anything about the universe or anything about the lore, you're gonna be really confused.
They do explain a lot, though. I think
they explain quite a bit, but not enough to understand what's going on. A lot of it is a lot of the exposition that they have in it is designed for people who already know what's going on.
It's a good standalone piece of entertainment, though. If you want to check it out, it's really, really, really good. Keegan-Michael Key's the bald, tall guy from Key and Peele.
Yep.
Luther, President Obama's anger management.
Yep.
He does the voice of that. That's enough to get you in right
there. Yeah, he's
right?
the voice of the main character in Hunt the Truth, which is really good. It's definitely really good.
Next up, we had some
Recore.
We had Recore. Recore. The
very interesting.
Very interesting. If you can believe this, Keiji Inafune is making a game about robots.
Mm-hmm. Robots that seem to be quite lifelike.
Yeah. Keiji Inafune.
But the main character apparently is a girl.
Is a girl, yeah.
So
Keiji Inafune is the creator of Mega Man, and they're teaming up with the co-creators of Metroid series, and they're making this game, and it
looks really cool.
It looks just the actual. Basically, it's gonna sound like I'm explaining Mega Man. The robots have these cores, and there's not many humans left, and these cores can be put into other robots.
Yep.
to make them bigger, stronger, faster, whatever the case
Yep.
is.
Yep.
And your main character was actually saved by the dog, the first court, and the beginning of the game or whatever. She was actually saved by this. So this is the core that you'll have. The longer
Yeah, it was like her pet, and then it saved her life.
But
and
you'll find other cores throughout the actual.
And she like put it in,
game.
it
Exactly.
like sacrificed itself, and all that was left was a core. And she put the core in like
a bigger, better even.
Yeah,
robot,
and he was just that robot then.
And if the gameplay is anything, if the trailer is any indication what the gameplay will be, you're gonna be able to control the girl who will be able to fight herself, along with your second-hand robot that'll be able to fight. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yes. Next up, backwards compatibility.
This was a big deal.
Yeah. 100 plus titles.
That's this month.
Yeah.
That's right now.
Yeah.
Right now, 100 plus titles are available on your Xbox One that are backwards compatible.
And if you have the disc, you can actually play the disc when you download it from the system, and you can play it.
Basically, what it is they found a way to put an emulator on for the Xbox 360 emulator on the Xbox One.
Yep. Which is really cool.
And not only that though, you can also play online. You can play Xbox 360 games on the Xbox 360 online broadband system, which is different from the Xbox One online system. So basically, you
have two systems in one. Essentially,
you don't need a you don't need a
360 anymore. Yeah,
you
don't.
And on top of that, if you don't have a 360 and you're thinking about upgrading to Xbox One, you haven't upgraded to PS4 yet. You basically have a built-in library from the get-go.
Yep, there you go.
So that's pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah, that is actually that's a heavy hit. That's a heavy hit.
That's pretty cool, actually.
The next thing they showed off was the new Elite controller.
The new Elite controller looks badass to me.
It looks awesome.
You got back buttons. And I actually have a controller right here that I'm thinking of, and the buttons. The back buttons go exactly where your pinky and your index finger go while you're holding the controller. If you're a shooter fan, the actual they have hairline triggers.
Yep.
So the hairline triggers allow you to just basically tap the right trigger and it go 50%
For anybody
down.
who knows what shooting with a hair trigger is, basically you don't have to even pull the trigger really to fire it off.
And you have your analog sticks have replaceable analog sticks where you can actually put longer ones in or shorter ones in. The D-pad, you get the regular D-pad, or this really interesting 8-axis concaved in D-pad, which looks really interesting, and I can't wait to see what it plays like with fighting games.
Yeah.
We play fighting games.
Yeah, and I'm a D-pad guy when it comes to fighting games. I like playing with the D-pad.
So
it's controller. So
I'm so interested to see what it plays like.
Biggest gripe with it is the fact that you have interchangeable parts. It's really, really cool. Don't get me wrong about that. But usually when it comes to mechanics, too many moving parts is a bad thing. Wearing the stuff will wear out quicker. You can break it quicker. I'm just for the fact that it has a lot of different stuff like attachments and stuff that you can put onto it. How long will these controllers last, or how durable they will be?
From what, of course, and this is just the company line. From what we've seen on the, this is like going deeper into, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, pause, gotta go check this out. So basically, they've been testing this out, and the newly D-pad analog, they've been. The problem with the regular D-pad is that it gets wear and tear after a while, and you have to, if you play fighting games or
it'll break.
That was the problem. And you really put it in there, you're gonna match. That
was the problem with the original the second 360 controller with the D-pad that you can flip and turn. And one it's like a thumbstick, and the next minute it's like a D-pad.
Exactly.
I had this one customer come into the store that I work at. Still have not told what this company I work for is. It's kind of interesting. He brought in his controller, and he had broken he played fighting games. He had broken the D-pad straight across this, from right corner to left corner.
Yeah.
Had broken it straight across. And he's like, that's the second one. I like fighting with a D-pad, and that's the second time I've played with my controller. He taught 2 times, broke the D-pad on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
because this is like an interchangeable system, I'm really worried about the fact that
the actual interchangeable system about that. There's actually they go over whatever the case is, and they talk about how durable the parts is, and blah 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 blah. But the actual interchangeable part, the actual D-pad actually stays here, and the actual D-pad pieces go over the actual D-pad, right, and they go into place. Now, if for some chance, whatever the case is, your actual D-pad that's over it wears and tears, which it shouldn't, because the parts that they're actually putting onto the actual controller are metal.
Okay.
Which is why the first thing they say when people they say the first thing people say, and I haven't seen it anywhere, I just watched the in-depth video. The first thing people say when they first get the controller is, "Oh man, it's heavy."
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're putting actual quality parts, metal, onto the actual D-pad, which means that the actual D-pad itself and the actual like analog sticks and a lot of the coating on it are actually metal, so they can last longer. So the actual D-pad you're not replacing. This goes into it by itself, and the actual layout. So like this is like the D-pad itself is like dug into the controller.
Right.
And it's the 8-axis, whatever the case is.
Right.
Because actually the Xbox, if you ever pick up an Xbox pad, it's actually a 4-axis.
Yeah.
And then you hear the little clicks you hear, maybe you hear.
Yeah.
Those clicks are micro switches that happen inside the D-pad. So when you put an 8-axis on top of it, it actually all I'm basically trying to say is you're not taking anything apart from the D-pad.
Yeah.
It's staying itself. You're just layering it something else, a peripheral over it,
That,
which makes it a little bit better.
What about the stump sticks then? Same thing? Or are you actually replacing?
No, you're actually replacing those.
Yeah.
Actually.
Then once again, if
Like I said,
for the D-pad, I'm worried more for the fact that you're placing a part over a part. That eventually, however they connect, that might wear out. I wonder how long those last. For the sticks being screwed on, if you're constantly changing or whatnot, I'm worried about the not the durability of the part itself, but the connections for the part.
Like I said, we'll put a link in the description. I'll show Will after what you call it. But the in-depth description of how the actual controller is made me a believer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really really good stuff, and this is from people that buy controllers monthly. we play fighting games. We buy controllers. This is something we're going to buy.
Next up on the list would be more Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 came out and let everybody know that you'll be able to exclusively for Xbox get your fix of mods.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
We already talked about that basically. EA Access, they're doing their little accessing month free,
and you get
EA Access Vault. You get to play all the older.
I have EA
titles,
Access. It's $4 a month. We had a emergency where we needed to play FIFA,
yeah.
And we didn't want to buy it, so we bought EA Access, and we got access to Battlefield, EA Access, everything. Basically, you get to play games free.
Yep.
And they're actually pretty good. Actually, with I mean, I don't want to play Madden, but I mean, if I wanted to, I could. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's what titles do they have that are really like you really want to play besides like Mass Effect stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the stuff coming. See, I have. They just put not Battlefield, but they just put Dragon Age on there.
There you have it.
So you can play it for free, $4 a month.
Yeah. All right. Well then. Next up, they talked about Plants vs Zombie Garden Warfare 2,
which a lot of people care about, but I don't.
It's actually a fun game. It's actually quite fun.
I mean, well, I'm not big into shooters,
a shooter, so
yeah.
That for you, it's just like meh.
Yeah.
Next they talked about Forza 6.
Which
U4 GT.
Oh man, this thing
badass
is
car is badass. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, it's not a video game, but I mean, Jesus, this thing.
That car is amazing.
Yeah. And what was really cool that I thought, because like I'm not a big racing game fan anyway, but the Forza Horizon, if you ever, it was for free actually. You got to download as a standalone game. The not Grand Theft Auto, the Fast 7 expansion was really dope. And if you played Forza 5 that came out, I believe it was, like the announcer that takes you through all the races are actually the guys from the British show, the British car show. I can't remember what it is.
Top Gear.
Top Gear, yeah. So it's the presentation for it is just like basically
Jeremy
top notch.
Clarkson.
Yeah, like you like even if you don't like racing games, like just for if you like Top Gear, play it.
And Top Gear is if
amazing.
you like cars, most likely you like
Forza has become the new standard basically.
After Forza, they talked about Dark Souls 3. And
Did they talk about it, or they just showed it?
They just showed off a little trailer.
I mean,
they showed off a trailer
it's
for
coming
Dark
out.
Souls 3. Really cool demo. Showed off like a Giant King, and I was kind of like, are the Giants coming back? That's the only thing I was wondering about. They showed off Division, which they showed off Division more at the Ubisoft.
They did.
Thing. So this one really didn't really give that thing, but they are having an exclusive beta in December,
which is nice.
Really cool.
Is it exclusive for what system?
Xbox One.
Xbox. Yeah. Okay, that's Dark Souls. That's pretty big.
No. Division.
Division. Yes,
Division.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You said Division. I heard
Division.
So yeah, Division. That looks like, and it has a release date.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
March. I have it. Yeah, they announced it at the Ubisoft one, and I have it on that one because they didn't announce the date.
So not technically a exclusive, which was basically if you didn't leave Microsoft a press conference with one single thread going throughout the whole thing, it was exclusive.
Yeah,
it's an
exclusive beta. The game's not exclusive to the system.
I mean, but overall kind of non-exclusives, and that's not counting Tomb Raider and shit like that.
Yeah. But they touched on Rainbow Six Vegas once again. Rainbow Six Siege, which they
last year,
did more at they talked more about it at the Ubisoft press conference than anything. But it is going to come with Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2
because of the backwards compatibility. Yeah.
Well, no. It's actually going to come with a newer like a recent model. Yeah. Not the 360 version.
Well, what they were saying is that the 360 game that you play on Xbox One get an automatic upres.
Yeah.
Which is dope.
There you go. Gigantic is a new IP. It's going to be free to play. It's kind of like a MMO-esque type game.
MMO-esque, yeah. I've been looking at this one actually. This is even more like cartoony than but it has a very distinct. I won't even say MMO. It has a very distinct MOBA.
Yeah, that's like, more of the feeling.
Yeah, like more of a. If you're like a fan of help me out.
I just blanked on it too.
If you're a fan
Dota 2,
of a Dota,
or the other game that's like super popular.
Exactly.
Warriors, something.
We're sorry.
You guys. I don't play the game. I know tons of people that do, but
me too.
I don't play the game.
It's like black people. I got tons of black friends.
Yeah, I know you people and stuff.
But if you're into those MOBAs, this looks like it could be very interesting.
Yes. The next one they actually talked about after that was the different ID at Xbox games, which is the independent developer at Xbox.
Yeah, and I think one of the actual and actually they were like, I think 13 different. This is not even on press conference. There were 13 different ID Xbox trailers released for E3, but let's just talk about the only one that really matters.
Cuphead.
Cuphead is probably like one of the biggest IPs for Xbox.
It looks so. It reminds me of Alien.
It's a bullet hell shooter.
It reminds me of Alien Hominid, which that's exactly what that was. It was a bullet hell type side scroller type shooter.
But you know what? You get to actually charge your
Well, they had similar stuff to that in Alien Hominid, but
the art style is what we're looking at here.
Yes,
I mean, Jesus.
It's a 1930s cartoon style, like American 1930s.
It was like coming out in 1936 plus 80 years.
Yeah, and it had like when I originally saw it, I was like, oh well, it's just.
We saw like a piece of it. We saw like a clip of it last year.
Yeah, and I was like, oh well, it's just gonna be like a 1930s game, and it's just gonna just have that style.
Yeah.
They actually put a 1930s like film filter over it.
Nice.
So it looks like a 1930s like.
It looks like you're watching an old Mickey Mouse or Popeye's cartoon.
Yeah, in color though.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really cool.
Popeyes was in color by the time that came out.
Yeah, some of them. There was actually quite a few of them that weren't.
Yeah,
I've watched a lot of them.
I will gladly pay you tomorrow
for a hamburger today.
But yeah, Cuphead looks amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say. Like I just want to play it.
There were a couple of the games. Beyond Dies was really cool. I really want to play that one. Ion is a new IP.
Which we
Tacoma
don't know
looks
anything
really cool.
about Ion.
Yeah, it is. They're just like here.
It's stuff. I want you to. That's my what the fuck moment for actual Xbox. The Ion guy. I want to play a game That's not a game.
Yeah, I was just like,
Like-
man, you told us nothing about this game. It's not a game.
And then you see the trailer, and
you're
it's
just
even
like-
more
and you're just
confusing
like, what
what he
the
was
hell
saying.
Rise of the Tomb Raider was next.
Yep, which gets
polished look.
exclusive. Do we know how long that exclusivity is?
I don't know. They
but we
haven't
know it
released
comes out very soon.
Yeah. Same formula. It's Tomb Raider. If you play the previous
With more
Tomb
tombs,
Raider,
though.
you had more tombs. With the previous Tomb Raider,
Which was the best thing about
oh
Tomb
yeah,
Raider?
oh yeah.
Actually raiding tombs.
Yes.
Which I thought was cool.
It's really up for us. They went more into that in the Square Enix one, so we'll just bypass that one.
Yeah.
Rare Replay.
This was dope.
Yeah.
This was really cool. I mean, the only games that Rare Replay is 30 of Rare's best IPs that they've ever come out with for $30.
Yep.
Very good market. And you know that's gonna go down in price when that
Yeah.
comes out. But basically, you get Perfect Dark. You get the original
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
The
The only game I think they said
Conquer.
the only game that I think they said they couldn't bring out. You get all the Killer Instincts. Is Donkey Kong. That's the only thing they couldn't do.
because that's a Nintendo
Nintendo
character.
IP, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
they can't touch that one. But yeah, you get basically all the Rare titles.
So that was
really, really
cool.
cool.
And speaking of Rare dropped probably the coolest new IP. Oh man, this is
And
like
the Sea of Thieves.
This is like right up my freaking alley, man.
Sea of Thieves was really really cool.
It like Destiny the pirate game.
Yeah.
It's a multi.
Like have your entire like crew.
But
and you're
yeah,
just,
it's just like it has that very Pirates of the Caribbean feel of it to it.
The reason why I like the last the Black Flag Assassin's Creed Black Flag was because of the sailing,
pirates,
the
yeah,
pirate
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's all I really cared about.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I get to do this in a game that's all about that.
Yeah, and
Fuck
it's
yeah.
and it's very very like rare.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's pirates, but it's very rare. You know what I mean? It's like
it's more of like the new Rare, old school Rare. It's not like old school Rare.
But it had
there's
a very,
none of the old developers.
but it had a
are there
very
anymore for
Monkey
Rare.
Island
Yeah,
type
yeah,
vibe
it does
to
have
it.
that
You know what I
feel
mean?
to it. Yeah,
And it just felt very Viva Pinata. Like
Yeah.
it's fun.
yeah.
I think
it
fun.
does.
Like even though there wasn't a lot going on, we couldn't see everything we're doing because it's a shared world pirate thing.
Yeah, that's the cool
So
part.
yeah, it's a shared world pirate
Pirates,
thing.
Yeah.
That's the best tagline.
They showed off Fable Legends. They
Which looks better than they did last year.
Yeah, much better. But they didn't. They just showed like a quick trailer and was like Fable Legends and next.
And it's much like Killer Instinct, it's free to play.
I was gonna say the next one next, but I think I'm gonna skip and go straight to the 2 end and then come back to this one.
Yep.
At the very end of the show, they showed off Gears and Gears 4.
Yep. So we got
Gears Ultimate Edition that comes. I literally put this remasterbation of Gears, upres, boom.
Yeah.
That's just it.
But one thing that they did do with that, because this is like the thing that they do at every trailer at every E3 now. One thing that they announced, and it's available right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not too ashamed to say that I went and
Already got it.
registered, and I was like, oh, and I'm playing the beta right now
Yeah,
for
for
Gears 1.
Oh, Gears 1?
It's a remaster.
Oh, the remaster. Okay.
They was like, oh, the beta's up right
Yeah,
now. Go play it.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, for free. Fuck it. Yeah.
Gears 4 is coming out. Looks
The
interesting. It
Gears
looks
4
a lot
trailer.
different.
The Gears 4 trailer.
It looks different. It looks a lot different than Gears. It doesn't have that like the guys don't look like freaking.
Oh, you mean the models?
meatheads.
The mod-
They don't. The one dude that was in there, he looked like. Okay, I put it to you like
Did
this.
you play Gears
looking
3?
at looking
Did
at
you play Gears
difference.
3?
Yeah, looking at difference between out of all the Gears, they look generally the same. Just in Gears 3, they shrunk them down a little bit because they weren't wearing like the full armor. And Barrett was tiny. This dude looks tinier than Tiny Baird.
Yeah.
And he
I
looked
felt
like,
like
and all the females too. They have their like really like sleek body and these like giant muscular armor things.
Definitely. I mean, Skavinsky's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, but I thought that the feel.
Cliffy B.
I thought that the feel of the Gears 4 was very reminiscent of Gears 1. And because Gears 1, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bro moments in Gears 1, and it's like, yeah, bro, we're gonna shoot stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Why? Because we can, bro.
Yeah, that's literally what Gears. That's all the Gears.
But Gears, to that effect, I'm defending him a little bit. It has like especially Gears One.
Surprise.
They have
Surprise.
these. They have they have moments, a lot of moments actually, where you're not shooting anything.
Yeah. Well,
And like remember, I don't know if like Gears One is this
Gears.
moment where you have to go. It's nighttime, and you have to go into this thing to find this computer,
Yeah,
whatever.
I remember that.
And basically for the first, I don't know that another thing about Gears One, the remaster, along with it being a remaster, you do have 5 new chapters.
Cool.
So basically instead of like getting the remaster, and chapters in Gears are like pretty fucking long. So that's like 3 hours of new shit. Like it's like chapter 1 first two. Okay.
Yeah, the just it looked a lot more. It looked like Gears, but it still looked different. It felt different.
I think it's
like
good.
watching it.
I think that's good.
Yeah, no, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not at all in a bad
Oh
way.
yeah, but
It just felt and looked really different.
For Gears One, when you're going through that, like like the critics or whatever, you hear
Yeah.
them, but you can't fight them.
Yeah.
Until like maybe like 20 minutes into the mission or whatever the case is like that. I like that this trailer. You were going to find something, whatever case you were going to look for something, you were followed up on. Like there's those moments in Gears.
They were chasing after a monster.
Exactly,
So-
but it had that suspense.
Yeah.
Before
It was-
shit just goes to hell.
before it started getting like really really crazy. I don't know how
Gears.
they
It started
fucking-
getting like Gears.
Yeah, I don't know how they live on Sarah, which is the planet they live on.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would.
I don't know. It's like lightning bolts like hit the ground and destroy buildings and entire mountains. Like how the fuck do you guys live on this planet?
But a lot of that is not explained in Gears.
Yeah. Well,
But-
they explain it in like the back stuff if you read the comics and so on and so forth.
Much like
so.
Halo, now we're getting all that.
Yeah,
that
that's when
info
you're
in
getting
the expanded universe.
You're getting that more. You're getting bits and pieces and like bite-sized bits.
'Cause I wanna
in
know why I'm
Hunt the
killing shit.
Truth,
Oh,
but
Hunt the Truth,
in the like expand. There's so much
There's-
goddamn
okay.
information
Yeah.
from the books, the comics, and the games.
It's like, well, just want to kill stuff.
After before Gears, which I said I skipped, they showed off their partnership with Oculus and Valve, which is quite interesting.
That was really interesting.
Oculus is going to come partnered with a Xbox One controller,
yeah.
and they've made deals with Valve for like games and stuff as well. which
Xbox
kinda
is
weird.
becoming. Xbox wants to be Valve.
Yeah.
That's basically what I got was I don't think we talked about it, but with the early access.
Yeah.
Is basically a Valve thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's literally what it is.
like buying games on the thing, having sales. It's just a straight.
Valve, I think, are willing to partnership, but I don't think they want to get eaten by Microsoft. And I think Microsoft is kind of like they're like we could
Chomping at the bits.
we could so eat you, but let's do a partnership right now because Valve is doing a lot of things with their PC gaming and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, we got the box that just came out.
Yeah, the Steam box.
Steam box, yeah.
So they're doing a lot of things.
The Xbox One is modeled after Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, everything from the no disc to
they're really trying to like they're not really stepping on each other's toes, but they're kind of sort of overlapping each other in a weird. Really weird
Microsoft
way.
would be stepping on their toes, but they didn't.
Valve,
work out so well.
Valve,
It didn't work out well.
Valve has its hands in the gaming community so heavily right
Yeah.
now that I think people would, if Microsoft ate Valve, people would be pissed.
Yeah.
And they would lose a lot of customers.
I mean, do you do you see how fucking mad people were when Facebook bought Oculus?
Oh yeah. So
I was like, I thought that was a good move personally, because I felt like
it's a good move in a business standpoint when you look at it. But if your consumer gets
True.
mad and they don't want to do anything with you, then it's not a good business move.
I mean, but with the dev kits, if you follow,
Unless you make them have to get it, which a lot of companies are doing now, where it's just like there's nobody else that's doing this. So
like if you look at where and I was really just like Oculus, everything was, I was following up on Oculus, whatever the case was. If you look at their last dev kit that they sent out to people who bought it, which is how they got a lot of their money. They would send their dev kits out to people that were unfinished and everything. If you look at the dev kit that they sent out lastly, that was just on consumer, people buying their stuff, and then the dev kit they sent out after the Facebook acquisition,
got more money.
I mean,
and more asset. They can do whatever they want.
Basically they made Morpheus look Morpheus still looks good, but still.
Yeah, yeah. So, and
But
then
speaking of,
they showed off
they showed
the
off.
tearingly good. I play
So
my. First of all, I want to start us off by saying I play Minecraft. I just
wait a
built.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You played Minecraft?
I play Minecraft. I just built a giant tower outside of my mountain fortress. That's a lighthouse. It literally has a working light that goes around. It's freaking awesome. I'll show it to you later.
Oh,
Um,
if we had a Hololens, we could just pull it up right here. But
that made me so like, shit. I don't wanna. Everything in me hurts because it's so.
It's so good. It's so good. So if you don't know what he's talking about, this was one of the most aha moments of the and we had already seen this, but it was the Hololens production. It like the gaming world wasn't really paying a lot of attention to this the first time it happened. But basically they had a guy he had on the Hololens, and from what for what Phil Spector ahead of Xbox said, this kind of happened really fast.
Yep.
They kind of just put this demo together really quickly. HoloLens, basically you can put a screen anywhere. It's augmented reality, which is different from VR because you use in augmented reality you use your actual reality and you just put shit in reality. So instead of me having like a TV and shit when you come in, I would have like HoloLens is at the door. People put on HoloLens, and I would have just shit everywhere.
Yep.
So you can create a screen wherever you want to, and they created a screen, and they built the little world or wherever the case is like that, and then they were like, you know what? Let's go ahead and make this shit real.
Yep.
And this is something they hadn't shown in real life. They had a basically like a little table, and the screen that they made that was on the wall, they made that come to life.
Yep.
On the table. It rose up from the table. And the cool thing about this thing was that they were showing what was happening inside HoloLens, and then they showed what was happening in real life, which was absolutely nothing. There was nothing on the table. But when you looked in HoloLens, the entire Minecraft world that they built was there. And then they took a train from one section to the next, and then they blew up some shit and everything. It was just
I,
your thoughts, Will.
Uh, I I came close. What that right there, boom! I came close. I came very close. I was sitting there and I was watching. I'm just like, that's fucking insane. Then he like zoomed out and like the girl was still playing and he was just like God basically like looking around. I was just like, oh. And then he's like, I want to put this here, and he would look at it and then place it. He would place it and stuff like place here, 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 here.
And they would check.
But it was visual from his visual cue. The thing would read his eyes and where he was looking, and then place it there.
It was,
and I was just like, and he's like, lightning bolt, boom. I did get a little bit upset. Like, why didn't they just dig? I understand that they were trying to show off for the demo, but it's like, why would they blow up like the center of a town to go dig into this cavern when they can find like another way? Like I got like fuck. But I was just like I can't I don't have money. This is like watching somebody eat a really delicious sandwich, and I'm just a poor person. Like, I wish I could eat this delicious sandwich.
It was really, 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 really cool. I just no words. Just no words to describe. It's literally that moment where you gotta see it. Explaining it to somebody doesn't mean. And what was really cool, which I found out later, there's a new mode in Halo we were talking about. It's like the fire team, fire chat, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Where you actually have like this war zone, which is a really cool mode, and we'll talk about that on a later episode, which I'm really excited for. But basically, as you can tell by me trying to explain it to you, it's pretty difficult to explain what the mode actually is. Like, you gotta go in and clean out your base, then fight the other base, but it's like PvP, EVP, and then actual game on top of that. But to explain that, what they did was they set up what looked like a UNI, if you play Halo, which is like the military base, a UNI base, right?
Yeah.
And then they gave you a HoloLens, right? And you walk through the base, and you would see like out the window, you would see like space. So you would see space out the window, like you were really in space, like a UNI space center, right? And then you came to the meeting room, right? And inside the meeting room, they pulled up like Tony Stark's like the actual base of what's going on in the
Yeah,
meeting room, right?
I,
And then explain what the mode is, and then wouldn't let you play.
I
So, for instance, not even talking about games. Let's think about if Disney World, who is the master of lines, the master of creating lines, like they create the most coolest Space Mountain. You're waiting to go on Space Mountain, right? You see the spaceships and everything like that. Imagine if they gave you a HoloLens to wait in line with. What would you see? Anyways, right?
I don't even want to think about it. I don't even. I don't even. I don't even. I don't even.
So yeah, that's
Just.
oh, one thing we didn't talk about,
Just.
because it's kind of hard to talk about anything else after you start thinking about the applications of Hololens. Elite Dangerous they talked about,
Yeah,
which is basically
it's No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
It's already out though for PC, and they have like the running beta for
Yeah.
for Xbox
Yeah.
One.
So that's it.
I just
HoloLens.
HoloLens, but
Minecraft.
that was Microsoft.
That was Microsoft, yeah.
That was definitely Microsoft.
I mean, a very good briefing.
Yes. Yes.
And we'll talk about stuff at a later time how we think, and very content heavy.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So let's let's talk about Nintendo.
Oh yes.
Because video games.
Best kept secret.